This is the Night Wolf howling at you, and today we're going to take a look at the He-Man and the Masters of the Universe Catra Jealous Beauty figure, part of the cartoon collection based on the Filmation cartoon series from the 80s, also celebrating She-Ra's 40th anniversary. And I already have some questions about how her outfit's going to work out on this one, because it looks like from the packaging that she's wearing a dress. And as you might recall from the cartoon collection Tila, you could take her harness off and she was wearing basically a bathing suit underneath it for all intents and purposes. So I'm wondering if that's what they did here with this Catra. But we'll find out in a few minutes when we get to that point. When we take a look at the back of the box, we see the as seen on Magicats with Catra transforming into her panther form. And of course the usual modernizing and celebrating the original 80s She-Ra Princess of Power animated series. And of course this includes Catra's cat form. And you can twist her into powerful battle position. And Catra's cat form is kind of tiny in here. I realize that they did that to save money, and it is nice that they gave us the panther form, but in all truth, I would rather have gotten a second figure or made this out as a 2-pack, where we actually had a full-size panther version of her. As part of this collection, we have the Faker, the evil robot of Skeletor, Leech, the evil master of power suction, and of course, Catra the Jealous Beauty. And once again, we are back to the whole 3 figures in the collection, and I believe Fakor was the one that they doubled up on, because why not? Oh, God. Well, let's take a quick look at the parts thing. Obviously, the dress looks like it's one piece, so I think they kind of screwed that up right there. But yeah, the usual. And we have a new comic, Onslaught to Snake Mountain. And what the fudge were they doing with her face? You know, the thing is, Catra Jealous Beauty. She's actually supposed to be beautiful, but you made her look like she's a wicked witch from some cheap-ass Disney cartoon or something. Like, they gave her like the anorexic hollow face cheeks and stuff, and just, oh. I mean, I hate to be this way, but I really don't like the art style of this person. That looks like Prince Adam in disguise right there. What was once a vibrant village is now desolate. Where are the people? Where are the children? What has been done? Free folk of Eternia, meet your new master. The innocent villagers were taken by the Dark Lord Hordak. To him, civilians are naught but pawns. From the listless realm of Despondos came foul entities, unleashing blight across the land, the Nightmare Legion. But lo, the designs of Hordak's twisted experiments knew no bounds. Far beyond the dredge belly of Fright Zone, he engineered his most grotesque horrors. How the hell did they make Multibot a Chubbo? Strangest of all, it isn't Grayskull that is Hordak's ambition. The most vaulted prize is not treasure nor lad, but vengeance aimed at his greatest betrayer, Skeletor. Lay waste to all, stop at nothing to siege Snake Mountain. All falls before the Horde. We've gained too much ground without a challenge. Something is amiss. As Hordak and the Slime Horde round the slope leading to Snake Mountain, they are met by the greatest defense, the Masters of the Universe. Okay, did they not just tell us in the last issue that these guys were actually guarding Grayskull? How the hell did they fight in front of Hordak to Snake Mountain? Give it up, Hordak. We've the advantage, with no issues vanquishing the likes of you. The Horde Lord, cynically amused by the show of defiance. Tell me, Masters, why would you come to Skeletor's defense? It isn't a war to save Skeletor, but all Eternia. Take one more step and be destroyed by the greatest fireworks show you ever saw. A deadly and spectacular light show illuminates the slopes of Hordak as Hordak presses his assault. Victory over death. Glob. Red. Glob. Luke. Artillery is down. She overheated. Red. Glob, grop. Take that, Slimoids. Though the masters valiantly defended the bluffs, their weapons were no match against the multitudes, and in a desperate moment, He-Man misses the most critical shot. Turn and burn! Come on, Grit, some slimy joes! Real Blast, no! Zzz. Real Blast is torn apart, revealing no human made of flesh, but an android forged of silicon, steel, and circuitry. Eyes afire with energy, it isn't He-Man who steps forth, but his greatest decoy, Faker. Even the machines feel the burn. No matter how hard the machines fought, all was for nothing. The slime horde reconstituted itself against each blow. Quickly, Faker donned the jet sled, taking to the skies. This pathetic defense is only meant to buy time for Skeletor. You're right, but that doesn't mean you'll win. Each robotic kin you strike down can be indefinitely duplicated while you only have one life. Nothing can replace what's real. Fake is fake, Fakor. Meanwhile, at the heights of Snake Mountain, Skeletor is being abandoned by his own team.
Wait, you can't escape without me.
Sorry, Lord Skeletor, but it's not us who Hordak wants. Besides, you two are overdue for a reunion.
What happened to loyalty?
Loyalty is for losers. Doesn't that mean he deserves it? Oh, shut up. Well, I guess at least that was a good explanation as to why He-Man and the Masters were in Hordak's way. Although, speaking generally, Real Blast probably would be mostly robotic based on his figure, so that still could have been the real one. Also, big old splash page in the middle. This is that thing that they screwed up on with the One Snake comic. And I can never quite get past that. On the back, of course, we once again see Fakor, the evil robot of Skeletor, Leech, the evil master of power suction, and Catra, jealous beauty. Just wonder if anybody thinks that when I do the Leech review, I should make some inappropriate jokes or not. Let me know in the comments below. But let's take a look at Catra's cat. Said the one issue with this is that it's so small. Like, it should be at least 3 times the size, I think. Because when Catra transforms, she retains mass. She doesn't mass shift like, say, Megatron in the Generation 1 Transformers cartoon. You know, she actually stays roughly the same size in her Panther form. So it's kind of sad that they shrunk her down this much. Although the face sculpt does look really good here. They actually painted the inside of the mouth. That's something that I wouldn't have expected on a figure of the size. And yeah, I mean, the overall look is still pretty good. It's just too small. Like I said, I would have liked to have seen this done as a 2-pack where we got a full-size posable Panther. Unfortunately, I don't think you could have reused much of Cringer to do Panther because the shapes are just too different. But Panther, oh my gosh. Her Panther form, sorry. But that's what I'm saying, you know. Catra herself does not come with any weapons, which is kind of annoying. Bring up the page from that mini comic again real quick. On that 2-page spread, we see both her shield and her whip comb. But I think that whip comb actually came with her in the Classics era, just as a way for them to kind of give us the comb and make a use of it. At the very least, it would have been nice if they maybe had given Catra just a whip. Since I want to say it's been a while, but I think that is what she used mostly in the show anyway. But let's go take a look at the figure here. Her mask is obviously removable. Although, getting it off that hairdo is going to be difficult. Well, pop her head off. There we can get the mask off. Let's take a good look at her face while we're at it. The paint job looks really well done. They used the bright red lipstick, which is nice because it seems like in a lot of the cartoon collection they decided not to use the brighter colors in some cases, which, you know. But yeah, the head sculpt looks good. The hair looks well done. I'm pretty sure that this back part is a separate piece, but it does look like... Actually, it looks like all the hair is a separate part glued onto her head. While we got this off, let's take a quick look at her cape. 2 different plastics glued together. I do miss the cloth goods, but you know, what can you do? Then we got her mask. There we go. Lined up the face pretty good with the mask this time. Most likely, for my display purposes, we will probably keep the mask on top of her head. Because, you know, let's keep that beautiful face showing. And while we're dissecting her, let's go ahead and find out about that dress. Boo. Yep. And she's got the same kind of bikini paint job that Tila had. You know what, though? Seriously, looking at this figure like this, she kind of looks like she'd be on the Itty Bitty Titty Committee. And the paint really doesn't help make those look any bigger. And let's be honest, the Filmation cartoons, I mean, they had no problem giving the women breasts. The dress is nice that it comes off all the way like that so easily. This would make it also a swappable part. And it really makes me wish I had the Cartoon Collection Tila here to mess with. Although the paint on the bikini top here does not really match up with the paint or the plastic very well on the bottoms. Also, it does look like she's wearing Tila's bottoms. And I think the reason why they started painting the boob area like that, specifically on these figures, was because in classics, they did not do that with the Battleground Tila, and you could take off her metal bikini top and have her be naked. But, you know, it's not like it was anatomically correct. She was from a nippleless universe. All right. The problem I see with the cape, though, here is that there's nothing it attaches to on her, so it kind of like flops around, where realistically, when you watch the show, the collar here is actually attached to her dress. Although this being said, I kind of want to see about taking a second one of her, if I get my hands on one, and cutting out kind of like this center portion of her dress. If I do that, though, that will be sometime in the future. Anyway, let's go ahead and talk about the articulation. Head does a 360 on a ball joint. Can look up and down. The hair does kind of interfere on looking back. And it's even more interfered with by the back of the cape. Arms spin around in a full 360. Although it's really stiff, and I don't know if you can hear that, but you can actually kind of hear a ratchet noise in there this time. Well, the waist does swivel. Her dress does not swivel with it. So they really, really would have needed to actually like cut the top here along the edge of the belt so that the corset top would move with her body when you turn it. Otherwise, you know, you just see her bra. Which actually, it would have been kind of funny if they'd given her like black for that. We have the single hinge at the elbow. Does a little better than 90. Spin at the wrist. And we have up and down articulation on her right hand. So she looks like she's made to be compatible with She-Ra's sword. And on the left hand, she has the in and out articulation of the standard figures. This would have been great, again, if they'd given us a whip, but they did not give us a whip. So that's kind of a shame. The legs can kick forward about that far, and can kick back about that far. Which again, it kind of seems like the cartoon collection has a little bit better range of motion than the regular ones. And she can kick out practically doing the splits, which is of course interfered with by her cape. The knee bends at a 90-degree angle, maybe a little better than. We have a boot cut, which is really stiff, but spins in a 360. Ankle, hinge, and spin, and she has the higher heels of the cartoon collection women, which technically is still shorter than the actual heels that they had in the cartoon, by the way. So that'll do it for our look at the cartoon collection Catra. Overall, the figure looks nice. It's a cartoon collection one. I would like to see them do the toy version of Catra, though, too. I think that'd be pretty cool. That's the one thing that we did not get in Classics, which was a shame. I do wish they'd found a better way to deal with the collar here on her dress so that it actually attached to her dress the way it should. And I wish she had been the figure that came 2 in a pack, because I would have just ordered the 4-pack and been able to modify the clothing the way I want to. And the lack of a whip. Like, they gave her the hand with the up and down articulation on the right side, where you could get a better whip look to it with that. But of course, they didn't. And I don't know. Like, I don't think the cat should have been the only accessory, but this has been a problem, I think, with a lot of the cartoon collection that have been coming out recently, is that we're getting just like some weird accessory. In this case, it makes sense. It's just the Panther version is too small. But, like with Hordak and his, 20-sided dice thing, just I would like to go back to having weapons. And I do vaguely remember that Catra did use a whip in the show, so that would have made sense. You don't have to design it like a cone whip. You could have just made a generic whip for it that could go with any character you wanted it to, but they chose not to, which is a shame. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this look at Catra. If you did, please feel free to leave a like. If you're not subscribed, that'd be great if you subscribed. I'm still hoping to get at least 500 subscribers this year. I mean, I'd like to get like maybe 750 by the end of the year, but I'm not going to hold my breath. Thank you for watching. Peace and love.